Gather to celebrate the end of winter as you spread colorful powder on your opponents, dancing and celebrating new beginnings in Holi, Festival of Colors. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum Mouse Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Holi, Festival of Colors is a 1 to 4 player area control pattern building game that plays in about 30 minutes. It's being published by Floodgate Games and they are bringing it to Kickstarter. They sent us this prototype copy to look at. At the beginning of the game, players receive personal powder cards to form a deck and powder tokens. On the 3-tiered board, you'll place firewood tokens in certain areas and shuffle the global powder deck. Here's a quick overview of the game. Players are going to be moving their pawn, playing powder cards, and ascending to new levels, trying to gain points by throwing powder on those different levels and on their opponents. On your turn, you'll be playing a powder card from your hand. Your player pawn counts as one of the spaces, and you can't overlap other powder tokens, but you can rotate your card anyway to make it work. You can cover firewood and even other players. If you cover a player, you give them one of your powder tokens, which are points for you at the end of the game. You can optionally move before or after you play a powder card to help you get in the right position. If you ever move onto a powder token, you take it into your supply. If you move onto a firewood, you would take that too. You may also ascend on your turn if you are surrounded by powder on your 4 sides, and there's no player marker directly above you. You can never descend once ascended. When you're at the higher levels and you place powder out, you see if there are any powder below in the corresponding location. If so, then the powder stays. But if not, then the powder falls and maybe onto another player. Now the game will end when 2 powder decks runs out, or 2 powder token supplies run out, or one of each, and then you'll finish the round and count up points. Powder tokens on level 1 are 1 point each, 2 points for level 2, and 3 points each for level 3. Your powder tokens are 2 points each in other player supplies. Players with the most firewood gains 10 points, fewest 0, and everyone else gets 5 points. And whoever has the most points wins. The tiebreaker is whoever has the most tokens on these boards. I love area control games, and Holi takes it to a whole another level, pun intended. I love how you're maneuvering your cards, the polyomino shapes on the different boards, and then how you're ascending and throwing the powder at your opponents. Really, really cool. Your personal cards have smaller areas to fill, so a little easier, and the global powder cards are bigger and possibly harder to fill, but very rewarding to get all that powder out. I think the theme really comes through not only with the bright colors, but how you are throwing powder around the board and how you are throwing it at your opponents and how it works with the powder on the boards, how they fall through to the lower levels. That all is really thematic to the game. Figuring out how to ascend to the higher levels will help you get more and more points, and it might be easier to place those global cards since not as many people are up there yet. There's replayability in the game too, not only with all that's going on the board, but there's these basically rule cards that change up the gameplay. This one is Layers of Powder. Gain a victory point for each powder token directly above a powder token of your own color. This one is double the victory points of powder tokens in the corner spaces. And this one is firewood tokens are worth 2 victory points each. There's a whole bunch of different ones, and you would choose one at the beginning of a game just to throw a little bit of variability to that game. The table presence of this game is just amazing and really draws people in. There's also rules for solo play, and there's been some rule updates even since we got the prototype. And one of those is that these global cards, they have 5 spaces where you're putting powder tokens are. Instead, I believe they're going down to 4. So there's other things that Floodgate Games is working on to develop the game to make it even better. The art is by my favorite artist, Vincent Dutray, and he did an amazing and beautiful job capturing the essence of Holi, Festival of Colors. I think you'll enjoy Holi if you enjoy games where you're laying polyomino type shapes, if you enjoy area control games, and like I said, the 3-tiered board just brings a whole other dimension to the game. So check out the Kickstarter campaign for Holi, Festival of Colors from Floodgate Games, and as always, we would love for you to subscribe to Tantrum House and like this video.